Pleasant good evening to us here in the class of Steele. You're very welcome to this evening's class. And this evening is Wednesday, the 12th of January, 2022. And you're very welcome to the class of Steele. I want to first announce and acknowledge the presence of our COO in the person of Her Excellency Doreen Burunji, our Chief of Protocol, His Excellency Dr. Donald Ewers, our youth leader and head for the youth arm, His Excellency Olusegun Olukoya, and I also want to identify our special brother, partner, friend, associate that has always been with us in the class of Steele, His Royal Majesty King Edwin Madu. Your Majesty, you are very welcome into the class of Steele this evening as we jump into our second session based on intent. Without any further ado, we're going to go straight into this evening's class, and then shortly thereafter, we will have our question, answers, and comment section shortly thereafter. So buckle up, get ready for your notes, and let's jump right in to this evening's class, part 2, and that is on intention. As we were looking in the last class about intentions, it is quite key. It is quite key that we focus on a number of points. And let's look at those points as we go forward. So the last slide that we did was being firm in your intentions, say that you know who you want to be, what you wish to contribute, and how you choose to touch the lives of others. This was our last slide following up from part 1 of intentions. You'll be amazed at how many resolutions or goals you'll successfully meet when you consciously base them on your intentions. So let's go on. Intentions, to get you started, here is how we can set out clear intentions. Remember, in our last class, we discussed about, we took the analogy of a politician becoming a president, and we looked at the intention. How do you do that? Intentions can be simple, or they require great work. They can be simple, or there's a lot of work. It could be a simple intention, and it is not very difficult, but then some of them can have a whole lot of work that you have to be implementing and putting in place. First, what do you intend to do? First thing you need to look at is the what. What is it you're intending to do? I intend to earn a degree. Now, after you find out that what, you don't put a full stop there. Most people intend to do something and they don't take it to the next level. Remember, I asked in the last class about 3 frogs on a log, and we asked how many of those frogs left the log and got to the shore. 2 of them intended, 1 of them intended to leave, and 2 of them decided that they were going to leave. And how many were left? And we discovered that 3 of them were left, because deciding you're going to do something and intending to do something does not create the environment of completion or getting that particular thing done. So also answer the questions: in what area of expertise, and what are my intention for having the degree? Then go on to complete the intention by outlining why. Why are you going to do it? Why are you going to do what you intend to do? What is your reasoning? What is your purpose? What is your passion? What is your drive? What is it that is causing you to tick in this direction? Because that's also important. Again, please be mindful. Intent then to do something does not cause it to happen. Intending to do something does not cause you to get it done either. There's a whole lot more that goes into it. The why. How? How are you going to get it done? You intend to earn a degree? How? How are you going to earn your degree? Do you know how you're going to do it? Have you considered the how? Have you looked into the how? Then you look at the when. When do you want to do it? Now, the how is going to determine getting to the when. Because if you're going to do a degree, then there is a level of cost or commitment that might be associated with that degree. And when you look at the cost that is associated with it, then you are able to structure and put in the when. That's important. The other thing that you will look at is where. Where are you going to do your degree? Where are you going to do that thing that you want to do or you intend to do? With whom? Is it something that you're going to be doing on your own, or is it something you're going to be doing with a team or with someone else to get it completed? All of these things are important to add to your what. What are you going to do is paramount. And then you need to ask yourself, these are the key critical questions without fail. All of these other questions are very important in being able to take you forward. So let's look at an example of clear intentions set. Let's look at an example of it. The intention of becoming president. I hone in on this one because it's a work that takes a lot of input. It takes an early vision. And the intention to become a president, what? I intend to become president. This is your what. But why? Why do you want to become president? A lot of people want to do something and they don't know why they want to do it. Why do you want to become a president? Why do you want to be the next leader? Why do you want to complete this class? Why do you want to complete this training? Why do you want to be a part of this organization or that organization? Why? The why that you ask, that I can lead my country into making better economic decisions that will positively impact the lives of our people. This is your why. That I can lead my country into making better economic decisions that will positively impact the lives of our people. That's a good why. That's a good why. But how? I intend to earn my degree in political science, get involved in politics by making politics my job, join the Love Party, prove myself worthy of being the party's leader and president of the country, become select for such and follow the process of being elected president. So there's a whole process. There's a whole lot of things that you have to do in order to realize your goal. But then another question, when? I intend to become president in the next 10 years, 5 years. Why? Because you might look at where you are on the program of your life, where you are, and then you consider the things that you have to do. And when you consider the things you have to do to get you to the next level, it can give you a time frame. For example, if you're doing a project, a lot of times individuals can be so unrealistic in their assessment or in their intentions. And unrealistic intentions, no matter how beautiful, how positive your confession, how great your team might be, sometimes unrealistic intentions don't get realized. And the reason why they don't get realized in most cases is because of the timelines. If you set unrealistic timelines based on external factors to yourself, then you'll find it difficult to realize the fulfillment of your intention. Where? Where do you intend to become the president? Which country? Which country are you intending to become president of? So you need to be informed. You need to know the law, the legacy. It's a whole lot of work that you have to put in to get to the next level. And it's very critical. With whom? I intend to lead in the love party, and my wife just put the love party, the love party. Finally, intentionally seek the path, walk on the path, deal with what you have to along the path, remaining intentional until reaching your goal or your original intent. Listen, whatever you intend to do, you have to stick to it. Hear me. You have to stick to it. There's so many things that I have intended to do, and when one thing didn't work, I jumped on to the other thing. How many of you know sometimes when you're managing life and situations that demand results? Listen carefully. Sometimes you are managing situations and circumstances that demand immediate results. And if you don't get immediate results, you have to maneuver or change to something else. How many of us have started something and didn't get the results we were looking for, and then we find ourselves having to change? We find ourselves having to realign ourselves to another vision or to something else or to another thing that is going to cause us to be successful in the outcomes that we're looking for. What is your intention? Is your intention to start a business and see it to completion, or is your intention for immediate financial gratification? Now you're going to say to me, but Bishop, when you start a business because you're looking for financial remuneration. That's why you start a business. But how many of you know that when you start a business, it's going to cost you more in the start before you start to earn from it? And a lot of individuals start things and they don't want to, or they don't have the luxury of time on their hands to invest in waiting. And as a result of that, they changed their intentions. Their intentions were not clear. You see, your intention was, I need immediate finances. I need immediate currency input. Then if you need immediate finances, don't start a business. Don't start a business. A business is not immediate. If you get what I'm saying, are you with me? A business is not immediate. A business is going to take time. It's going to take building. It's going to take tweaking. It's going to take building, most importantly, a team. Most importantly, it's going to take structuring. And structuring is redefined in the first aspects of whatever you do. You're going to keep structuring, keep tweaking. So if you're looking for immediate financial input, don't start a business. It's not going to satisfy your intention. And what is going to happen is that in the first 6 months or the first year, when you recognize, wow, I've been doing this and I've not seen no income, I've not seen any money at all that is turning over, you're going to quit. You see, I've said to us in the class of Steele that we have 100-year vision. Why did I say we have 100-year vision? It's because I'm not looking for immediate gratification. I'm not looking for immediate turnover on income or resources. It is not one that I'm panicking about. Of course, it needs to be viable. Of course, it needs to put us in a position where we can start to realize some income. Of course. However, I know that the past 2 years of working with the class of Steele and trying to put together, there were some other intentions that were clearly outlined, personal intentions. One of those intentions was gathering content. If you're going to go somewhere, you need content, gathering momentum, building relationships. All of those are positive intentions in taking us to the place where the class of Steele is going to be viable as a business, and it is going to give a return on investment. If you're doing anything, please bear with me in repeating this. If you are doing anything for immediate gratification or remuneration or financial income, don't start a business. It doesn't work. If you're going to do an event or project, then that's a whole lot different scenario than structuring a business. Projects and events can bring about quick turnover of income. If you're looking for a quick turnover of income, then do something that is going to be a short-term goal, short-term intent to bring you short-term financial input. All right. So let's go on. Benefits of setting intention. What are some of the benefits of setting intentions? What are some of the benefits? Setting and living your intention allows you to focus on who you are in the moment and keeps you centered. Intentions cause you to focus on who you are in the moment, and keeping you centered. When you know who you are and where you're going, you're not easily pulled to the left or pulled to the right. You're not easily distracted. You're focused on who you are. I am the president of the United States of America. That sounds really weird. I'm the president of XYZ ABC. I'm a university graduate. Wait a minute. You haven't even gone to the first class yet. I know. But I'm going to that class with an intention that I am going to come away with my degree. I am the next great leader as a mentor. Oh, but wait a minute. You're not a great mentor yet. I know, but I am centered and focused on who I am from the beginning. Remember this. We discussed about where you're going, and a lot of individuals focus on where they're going, and before they get to that place, they recognize that where they are going is contrary to where they end up. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes you're going somewhere and you're not focused, you're not centered, and you find that you get distracted. And as a result of being distracted, you lose focus. Get past your current problems and struggles by focusing elsewhere. The benefits of setting intentions. When you set intentions, you get past your current problems. Sometimes you have problems that are in front of you, but because of your intentions, you know those problems are not going to remain. So you stay focused, you stay grounded, and you stay committed to what you are doing and where you're going. You don't get easily distracted, and struggles that come to you, you don't focus on them. Because remember, in our last presentation, we looked at You're going to have all types of difficulties and struggles and hardships that are going to come up that are not what you expected or planned for. But when you set intentions, when those problems and struggles come, you know how to shift your focus. You know how to realign your focus. Those things that show up in front of your face, they don't distract you or they don't deter you because you have a focus. The benefits of setting intentions, you recognize and live your values. This is important. Recognize and live your values. What is your value set? What values do you have that you do not compromise on? A lot of us join organizations or are part of groups or even in our own personal lives, and we don't have values. We just, whatever comes, we just deal with it. However it comes or however it shows up, we just kind of, take it on the chin, take it on the cheek, just deal with it. But how many of you know that if you are going to be successful, you have to have values? Because values are going to create an environment where it sets apart your audience. When you have values, it is very difficult to find 100 people in the same room with the same values. It's very difficult. So what is the good point about being able to recognize your values or live your values? The good point is that when you find others who do not have the same values, you quickly remove yourself from that company, or you quickly remove that company from you. Why is that necessary? It is necessary because sometimes when you have individuals or when you have processes that don't match up to your values, and you go ahead and you violate your values or you violate your principles, then sometimes you don't reach your intention. And that's very critical to note. Focus on your values. Your intentions help you to recognize and live your values. The benefits of setting intentions also cause you to raise your emotional and physical energy as you build momentum. Listen to me. As I was coming up as a young man, it has always been difficult to, I don't want to use the wrong word because I want you to kind of understand what I'm trying to say. When you're the member of an organization, you don't have the ability to some degree to control some of the dynamics of the organization. And it can be overwhelming sometimes. And it can put you on an emotional roller coaster. How many of you get what I'm saying? You find yourself frustrated, angry, overwhelmed, but 90% of those frustrations, angers, or overwhelmed situations are totally external to yourself. You can do absolutely nothing about them. And your emotional state of being is troubled. But when you set clear intentions and you focus on your core values and you make sure that these things come into alignment, you find that you will not associate yourself in a way that will cause you any emotional trauma. And therefore, it raises your emotional and physical energy as you build momentum. So the more you get involved in what you're doing with your team, or the more you get involved with what you're doing because you love it, you see it, you understand it, you feel it, you know it, you want it, you desire it, you're going to have it. It encourages you, it supports you, it strengthens you, and it goes with you. If you are a part of anything that is causing you emotional distress or even physical trauma, I want to give you a challenge. Look at it genuinely. Stop, pause, and look at it. And ask yourself a very important question. Did I set the right intentions? What are my intentions? Are my intentions only to be there because somebody else is there? Or only to be there because what? Because remember, when your emotions and your physical energy are challenged, it's when it's going to expose your real intention. One of the things that I say to relationships that come to us, myself and First Lady, for counseling, one thing I say to them, if you do not quarrel and you do not argue and debate, you're not ready for relationship. How do you mean, Your Excellency? How do you mean? Well, of course, if you have somebody that is, yes, darling, no, honey, I agree with you, boo. Yes, boo. All right, boo. You're right, boo. My goodness. The day that you guys have a disagreement, you guys are going to part ways. Chances. Why? Because you haven't learned the most important muscle of engaging, challenging, building. Those are important tenets for relationships and friendships, and greater so for marriages. But also on teams, you need it. You need to engage. Minister Ewers and I lock horns so many times. Me and Doreen, we lock horns. My goodness. Don't think that the Class of Steele team is just simple. Everybody's in the same, yeah, we get along good and everybody kisses me on the cheek and I kiss everybody back. No. We don't have those type of individuals in the Class of Steele. Me and Zionists sometimes would rub our horns together. Me and Olukoya will rub our horns at everybody. Why? Because in relationships, in friendships, in teams, in organizations, if you are not rubbing horns or locking horns, you're not engaging. And when the time for locking horns come, the first thing you're going to do is look for an exit route. Why? Because your intention is to have a peaceful organization that you're a part of, very peaceful. I don't want to be a part of anything that's going to cause me any stress. I don't want to be a part of anything that is going to challenge me. And when you find yourself in those type of environments, then you don't last very long. Some person has been asking me about relationship, some relationship input. And I think most people would like a relationship where you wake up, and they call you at the time you want you to. They hang up when you want them to go. They show up when you want them to, and they disappear when you want them to. You just want a robot. Know how I feel, know what I want, and do it my way. Exactly. Excuse me. That's not going to work. You need some engagement. And if your intention is for a smooth, easy ride, stay single, please. Because the minute you meet a beautiful, calm person that you can work with, I assure you, you will frustrate them. Or the minute they meet you and think they can work with you, they might frustrate you because you need to engage. All right. So your emotional and your physical energy is based on your intention. What is your intention? What governs what you do, and what causes you to be passionate about it and not give up or throw in the towel? Creates a reminder for how you want to live each day. Intentions create reminders. Always look back at your intentions. Look back at them. Michael, why did you do the Class of Steele? What started the Class of Steele? Mentoring. Giving persons an opportunity to have access to information, to teachers, to trainers, to advice, to support, to events, to conferences that are going to cause them to be successful, that are going to cause them to raise to the next level emotionally, financially, physically, psychologically. That's my intention. It will never change. My intention equally is to challenge individuals. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to make your life miserable sometimes. I intend to do it. Why? Because if I don't challenge you and I just give you you come and you just get everything you want, what's the point? What form of mentoring has any value that you're just comfortable? Come on. If you have a physiotherapist and you are 500 pounds and you want to lose 200 pounds or 100 pounds, and your physiotherapist says, okay, come on. And when you get there, you sit down and you say, oh, I don't feel like engaging today. I'm tired. Oh, I feel like eating some chocolate and drinking some tea. If your physiotherapist says, oh, I understand how you feel, okay, and you sit inside of the gym watching everybody else chilling and sweating, come on. What is the value of a trainer? What is the value of somebody that is going to challenge you? You want somebody that's going to say, don't come in here if you're tired. Don't come in here if you're not prepared to sweat. Don't come. Stay at home. Don't come in here if you're not prepared to be challenged and go through the process. Don't come in here if you're going to be whinging and complaining with me. Don't come into the gym. Why? Because you want someone that's going to push you beyond your personal boundaries, beyond your personal comfort zone. And that's what the class of Steele is going to do with you. So create some reminder every day. Why do you go to the gym? Don't go to the gym and bellyache. Go to the gym and get some pain. Don't come into the class of Steele and expect that Dr. Steele is going to send you a love offering and a handout. No, I'll teach you how to get there. We'll teach you how to make it happen. Life is not just about getting a handout. Life is all about getting to the place where you can be given handouts. That's what life is about. Is that your intention? Or is it your intention to be getting handouts? I feel intimidated as a mentor sometimes when I have to get help. In life, we all need help. No man is an island. But my intention in life is to be the one helping everyone, to be the one pouring into you and giving to you, not taking and bleeding from you. That's not my intention. So what are your intentions? Focus on them. Look at it. Is your intention to be a taker or is your intention to be a giver? Do you come in just to take or are you a giver? Benefits of set intention. Receive inspiration and motivation to achieve your purpose. You will get the inspiration and the motivation. Don't worry about it. Once you have a clear intention set, you'll be fine. Because when individuals come sometimes, and this is important for us to note, when you set an intention, a whole lot of things get put in motion. And you have the capacity and the ability now to receive inspiration because you know what you want to do. So somebody, for example, that is your mentor is going to tell you, here's something you should consider. And you're going to say, yes, I can receive that. Why? Because you have a clear intention that is set. Motivation to achieve your purpose. You become motivated and you can achieve it. You see things you may have otherwise missed. Why do you come to the class of Steele and sit here and listen to me? Are you committed to receiving? Are you focused on receiving? Are you able to see things that you missed in your day that you're going to be able to say, this lesson today or this class today or this mentoring has helped me. There's something that I missed and I'm glad that I came. When you have clear intentions, you become receptive to new ideas and opportunities. Oh, this is a new opportunity to help you to get to where you're going. Oh, I like that. That's good because you have a clear intention. You make lasting changes in your life. Some people ask me, how do you manage to work such long hours without sleep? How do you manage to do so much studying and so much research so consistently? How do you manage to do it? Because I have an intention. I want to deliver with professionalism. I want that when I sit here, you hear me, and when you go through and scrutinize my messages and what I say, I was to some degree grammatically correct. I made sure that I spoke with clarity, with eloquence. I made sure that I spoke with facts and details that are infallible, that you could go back and look at them and they have value. So in order to do that, I have to study. I have to research. I have to commit dedicated time to making myself equipped to be proficient in what I'm delivering. You improve your effectiveness once you got clear intentions. I get up on mornings. Sometimes I go to bed maybe about 5, 6, sometimes on mornings. And as soon as I'm up, I'm back studying again. If I go to bed early in the night, 11 o'clock, 12, 1 or 2, I hardly get to bed before 12 o'clock. To be quite honest, I'm lying to myself. But when I go to bed and when I get up in the morning, if it's 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning that I'm up, as soon as I get up, I'm studying again. Why? Because I want to be successful. I need to be successful. And if you are not going to put time and effort and hard work and diligence into being successful, you will not be successful, and you wouldn't have anybody to blame. And it's not me as a minister or me as a bishop or as a mentor cursing you. Sometimes individuals say, oh, you're cursing me. Why do you say I'm not going to pass that exam? Why do you say I'm not going to be successful? Well, because we look at the trends and what you're doing. And if you do something that creates an environment where you are not looking like you're going to be successful, then that's all we can tell you. Because we see what you're doing and your intentions that you've laid out don't match up with the work you're putting in. Doesn't match up. And if it doesn't match up, it's not going to gel. Improves your effectiveness. Intentions have no limits. I like this particular one. Intentions have no limits. What's great about intentions, there are no limits to how much we can have. There's no limits. Let me give you a challenge. Let me give you a challenge. Let me stop the screen share here. And I want to ask a question. I want to ask you a question. I want you to ask yourself this question. What is stopping you from being the next successful businessman or woman in your country? I'm asking you, and I'm going to ask you this question. Chukwuemeka, could you unmute yourself, please? I want to ask a very important question here. Chukwuemeka, what is stopping you? What is in your way, or what is hindering you from being the next extremely successful businessman in your country?
Your Excellency, this question, thank you. This question is for now. In this place, there are a lot of factors. I will call them factors because they are basic to progression. For instance, myself now, I'm a tech person. You know, I'm into IT, information technology. But as a person, I find challenges. For instance, I want to do something, and there will be no light, and you know, for you to go get the power yourself, it costs. You have to get a generator, buy fuel, and stuff like that, which is costly, and such costly things require funding, and jobs are not readily available. You have to still leave whatever you wanted to do and go and look for money. to fund what you want to do. So most times we end up trying to look for money, I would say most I will end up trying to look for money to survive, because it's more of a survivor. So that most importantly, there are these factors of that enables or provide a good environment for myself to pursue my IT dreams and aspirations are not there. So I end up looking for funds, looking for money instead of going directly to look for to hit on my target or my intention. So that's what I would say. It's mostly of infrastructure. That's for me. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you so very much for your submission. Well noted. Your Excellency, Doreen Burunji, you own Beyond the Sky Tour and Travel. And what stops you, Doreen, or what is in your way that is hindering you from being one of the most successful business women in Uganda or in DRC? What stops you? What is stopping you from declaring that's a done deal? What is?
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Michael Steele. For me, what has stopped me from achieving my goal being the best travel agency in Uganda and beyond has really been human resource, the team. If you don't have the right team with you, you keep pushing the wheelbarrow by yourself while others are out of it. They come and they do not fulfill the assignments, or they seem to agree with you, but actually yet they are not there with you. And it takes some time really to realize that really these people are not with me. So for me, my biggest challenge has been just to have the right team. If I have the right team, then I am okay to fly. Okay to fly.
All right. Thank you so very much, Your Excellency, for your submission. Zionist Amaka Curry, could you unmute yourself, Your Excellency? What stops you from being the most successful businesswoman in the United Kingdom? What is in your way?
Thank you, Your Excellency, for this opportunity. What stops me is the lack of intention to become the most successful business person in United Kingdom, because that's not the path that that I have chosen. In other words, it's not my interest to do that. I've not set any intention. I've not had any vision about going into that. However, there are many dimensions to business, to setting up business. So business could be business that involve making money. It could be a voluntary business. Either way, I have not set any intention as at yet to become the most successful business person in the UK. Thank
Zionist,
you.
I want to be specific for you, because if business is not your intention, what stops you from reaching what you intend to do? What is stopping you? Whatever that is
All
that
right.
you intend to
Yeah,
do,
okay.
because I want to focus on what matters to you. So what is stopping you from reaching what you want to accomplish? What's stopping you? What's in your way?
Pertinent to my success in my intentions is the technical know-how, Your Excellency. Lack of technological capability, digital marketing, anything to do with technology is a big hindrance. And we know that technology is the way forward. The environment is very competitive. So that's a big factor for me.
All right, thank you so very much, Zionist. Your Excellency, Dr. Yours, I know your challenge. I think we're going to cancel that meeting for after, and I'll let you get some rest. Your Excellency, Dr. Yours, what challenges you from reaching your full potential in what you want to accomplish. What challenges you, Your Excellency?
Yes, a pleasant good evening, Your Excellency. I would say having the right connection. If you have the right connection, the right people around you, the right team, that would be my challenge where I'm sitting at, where I look, sir. I would say the connection, because when you're in the right connection, it can catapult you to where you want to go, sir.
So right now, Your Excellency, you don't have the right connection as yet.
I like how the way you say it.
I ask it. I'm being very
I'm just saying.
Your Excellency, please
The
bear with
way
me.
the tone of you saying it, sir.
Your
That is the right
Excellency.
connection with the class of Steele.
No. Your Excellency, please bear with me. Please bear with me. Please bear with me. The class of Steele's purpose is to cause you to reach your full intention. And that's my role.
Right.
And if your full intention is something that you need to accomplish that is nothing to do with the class of Steele, that's understandable. And if that particular aspect of what you want to accomplish is connection, then that's understandable. That has nothing or no bearing on the class of Steele. The class of Steele is just one of the things that you're doing or you're a part of,
Yes.
but everybody has a reason why they need the class of Steele for a period. All right. So I understand you with regards to connection. All right. I want to ask Olukoya, Architect Olukoya, what stops you from acknowledging your full potential or realizing it? What is in your way? What is your barrier? And by the way, take note and listen to everybody, because I am going to answer you quite profoundly. And when I'm finished, I'm going to answer you. And I think I'm going to stop at that slide. The time is 2 minutes past 8. And I'm not going to revert back to the slides. I'm going to open to questions and comments and revert back to this. We have other slides to complete, but I really want to give you something to empower you rather than just a lot of talk. And believe me, I'm going to empower you this evening. You will be very empowered when you leave. But again, it depends on how you receive the empowerment. Your Excellency, Architect Olusegun, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency, and everyone in the class of Steele. When you asked this question, when you asked Chukwemeka this question, I say, once I'm the next person to be asked, this is the answer I will give, and that's what I'm going to give. If you had asked me this question about 2 years ago, I know the answers I will give you. I will roll out obstacles, barriers, challenges, what my country is going through, what is going on in the world scene, economy, and all of that. But today, from what I have been imparted with, to be honest with you, I don't see any obstacle. I don't see anything that is stopping me from being one of the most successful businessmen in Nigeria. And I've already chosen that path, and I'm already on that path. Of course, I will need a lot of brushing, a lot of encouragement and all of that, but I don't see anything stopping me because I'm already on that path, and I'm working hard in the next few years to become what I mean, the top businessman I should be, with all the resources that I've been imparted with, both in the class of Steele, most especially, and the ones I've gathered from other places. Thank you, Your Excellency. That's my answer, sir.
Thank you so very much. Your Majesty, out of respect and honor, are you available to respond to that question, or should we just carry on, Your Majesty?
I'm available, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Because it's a very interesting topic to me. It falls into what I've been doing all day as a traditional ruler. You know, my intention is to bring my kingdom to be a model kingdom, and I was working towards it. I just sent out a mission statement to the collaborators and people that I need to work with. So my barriers, I've seen a lot of what you mentioned here, and I'm trying to assimilate to know where to, improve on what I'm really working on. And I believe with due consideration of what you just said, most of the things I consider barriers, to being that best king within that region. I think I'm trying to retrieve my. I've made some notes because it's very, very important that I attended this mentoring this evening. If not, before I've already listed a whole lot of like architect, His Excellency, like Rupia said, I've listed a very a long note of what I'm going to do, the culture, people saying, oh, it's not done this way. Yeah, why are you bringing, we want to bring Europe to the kingdom, all those things. So that I said all I need is a sort of a good mentoring and a good coordination. Then I can being focused, I can convince people to follow me, and we realize such intention.
Your Majesty, thank you so very much for your submission, Your Majesty. This class is not going to be available other than in the archives of the class of Steele, because I'm going to tell you some things that I need you to hear from your mentor. I think that I qualify as a mentor because I have not had an easy journey. But one thing I will tell you is I have some tools that I can give to you. Some of them that I learned late, some of them that I learned early, but I can assure you that the tools I'm going to give to you right now are going to empower you. And here's the thing. Nobody likes to be given a tool that they don't know how to use. Wave at me if you get what I'm saying. Wave at me. Nobody likes to be given a tool they don't know how to use. And the interesting thing about tools is that we like to label a tool based on the user. If you're doing something and you need a mason's hand, a mason will give you Masonic instructions. This is what a mason does. This is how we do it. This is how you plaster a wall. This is the trowel that you use, and this is how you do it. And you get it very difficult to understand how to use it. But here's something important. Because the tool is difficult to use does not change the fact that that's the tool for the job. Wave at me if you get what I'm saying. Come on, wave. I want to stimulate you. I want to stimulate you. Because the tool is difficult for you to use does not mean or change the fact that the tool is the tool for the job. And a lot of times our problem is because we can't understand the tool, we demean ourselves and devoid ourselves of the opportunity of successfully completing what we want to complete because the tool is one that we are not able to use, so we just shut down the process. And guess what? We never realize our intention. Because some intentions need specific tools. Let me share this with you. All of you in the class of Steele, let me tell you this. You need to take this on and write it. There is nothing on this earth that I cannot accomplish. You should write that down. There is absolutely nothing on this earth that I intend to do that I can't do. Nothing. Write it. Write it down. The reason why I'm telling you to write it down, Minister Yours would say to you that him and I argue about being practical and being real. We argue. Minister Yours, unmute yourself, please, because you're important in this particular class. Unmute yourself, Minister Yours. Your Excellency,
Yes, sir.
You and I argue about practicality and reality. We argue. I will tell you something, Your Excellency, publicly in the class of Steele. All of us are here in the class of Steele are students. All of us, including me. All of us. I'm just privileged that I'm the one that is teaching the class, but all of us are students. Amen. So me singling out anybody is nothing to do with intimidating or get embarrassed or nothing. The same way I single out His Excellency is based on relationship. And I know that I am going to use him as an example because at the end of the day, all of us, including me, need these lessons. Amen. Or hallelujah, or is that okay? So don't take it personal or don't judge His Excellency when we discuss, because guess what? You have your turn coming if you're in this mentoring group. That's why it's private and it's direct mentoring. Your Excellency, Minister Ewers, I tolerate you when you are in an environment that is telling me something that I want to accomplish can't be accomplished. I tolerate you. I don't embrace you. I don't support you. I tolerate you respectfully. Here's the reason why. Nothing that I intend to do is impossible. Nothing. It just needs to find the right source. It just needs to find the right people. It just needs to get the right tweaking, but nothing is impossible. Your Excellency, Dr. Ewers, nothing on this earth is impossible. Nothing. If somebody said to you, can you be in a room and the doors are locked, the room is locked, and one person leaves the room? And anybody that somebody give that scenario to, they will say, never happened. But Your Excellency, you know better. It defies physics. It defies the natural law of things. It defies everything. But you know it's real. You know it's real. Can somebody just walk into a room and as soon as you walk into the room, you get a healing from a cancer that doctors and physicians could not work and do? Is it possible? Of course it's possible. Of course. Can a man lay hands on you and you receive your sight if you are blind? Of course it is possible. I couldn't see from here. I couldn't see, and I'm one of the recipients of that through prayer and fasting, and the man of God praying for me. I didn't even know what my issue was. What am I trying to say? We say all things are possible through Christ, spiritual, but I want to tell you something. All things are possible based on your intention and your commitment to making it happen. What is something that you need to be focused on? The difference is time. Write that down. Time. Some of you have time limits on your intentions that are unrealistic. I want to learn to speak French, and I'm going to speak it in 2 weeks. Hello? Hello? What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? You're not realistic. I want to be a multimillionaire, and I'm going to be a multimillionaire. I'm going to be extremely successful financially if the Lord allows me to live in that space of time. I'm going to be extremely successful financially within the next 2 years. Extremely successful. Oh, but Dr. Steele, why did you say within the next 2 years? I expect it's going to be within the next couple of months. But why did you say the next 2 or 3 years? Well, because I give it time. I thought that by the time I was 35, I was going to be a millionaire. It didn't happen. Why? Because of the dynamics. But guess what? Have I stopped intending to be successful? No. I have 3 companies. No, I think I have 4. And a charity. Are they successful? Not yet. Are they going to be successful? Yes. Why? Because I'm not going to stop until they are. A lot of you want something, and the reason why you get discouraged, the reason why you get overwhelmed is because you put the own boundaries and barriers in front of yourself. There's no electricity in Nigeria. That's fine. Then work during the day more diligently and get a generator. Work hard. Do whatever it takes. I used to sell donuts. I was a donut man. Why did I become a donut man? I became a donut man because I had a drink product that I wanted to sell and I needed an audience. So guess what? When I became a donut man, all the stores I went into, I was able to go into the stores and discuss with the purchasing managers. Come on, somebody. So I was a donut man, but I had my own drink that I wanted to be selling. I put it in stores. I used to raise fish because I wanted to secure financial income and I wanted to have something in place that I make money. What am I trying to I used to paint stones. Come on, somebody. If you are going to be successful, nothing, say it. Nothing will stop me from my intention. Say it. Nothing will stop me from my intention. Nothing, no one. A lot of you have problems cutting off people. You want to walk around and be everybody's friend. Well, if you are friends with the people that are hindering you, what do you expect is going to happen if you continue the path you're on? You're just going to keep getting hindered and just keep having arguments and debates. So your intention to be successful is not realistic because you clearly see that person that is right in your face is undermining you all the time. And you allow them to be in your face. You allow them to sit in front of you and undermine you. They come and they thief your resources. They thief your information. They thief your strategy. And then they abandon you. And you allow it. Come on, somebody. You see, you have people that are in places that when you go to them and you need advice to take you to the next level, and you keep going to them hoping that it's going to change. Listen to me. If somebody is hell-bent on your failure, no manner of tweaking of the way you present your scenario to them is going to give you a different response. You're hell-bent going to get the same thing. You're an idiot. You're a fool. That's a stupid idea. You're wasting your time. You're not practical. You're not real. If you keep going to them for counsel on those matters, you will not get anything different. So you will never realize your intentions. And it is important that you grasp what I'm sharing with you. Absolutely nothing is impossible for you to accomplish. Nothing. Say it. Nothing is impossible for me to accomplish. Say it. Say it. Believe it. If you apply for a mortgage and you don't get it, and the bank says to you, you can't get it because, then what do? You go and you fix the because, and then you reapply if you need it from that particular location. But you don't say, I'm not going to get it. I can't. No, you position yourself according to your intentions. A lot of you have intentions, but no positioning. Come on, wave at me if you get what I'm saying. Wave at me. I want to see your hands. Zionists, you can be, there's nothing stopping you from being successful in your intentions. Nothing. Nobody's stopping you. Oh, don't tell me about technology and you're not au fait. I want to tell you a secret. My son is 6 years old and there was a game that my nephew plays and I want to be able to spend time with my nephew. So I had to learn how to play one of the most difficult games that you could ever imagine learning to play. It's called Fortnite. I play it with my son and my nephew. Because my nephew is one of the only connections that I have close to my family, my nephew Ivory. I love him dearly. And him and I are very close. So we play Fortnite and talk and love each other and grow together. And I build a relationship with him and Josh, because if anything happens to me, it is my nephew that I know is going to look out for Josh as well. They're within the same age. So what do? I take time and build that relationship. I learned how to play the game. I learned it. I got laughed at. I got overwhelmed. I got frustrated. But while I'm teaching the class of Steele, while I'm mentoring, while I'm running my business, while I'm doing my ministry, while I am traveling, I am also learning how to play a game. Why? Because my intention is to build a strong relationship with my nephew. And if I want to build a strong relationship with him, I got to come down to his level and chill with him where he wants to chill with me, and we chill together and have a fantastic time. But it costs. A lot of you, just to send an email, you have to get somebody to send the email for you. Learn. Watch YouTube videos. Do you know how many 100 YouTube videos I watch on subjects that I put that are important to me? Up to today, I was studying about all the courses that the United Nations is offering, that I'm going to be offering to all of you, that is not going to cost you anything. I'm studying how to get you registered, how to get you signed up. Why? Because then I can tell you exactly what to do. Is it impossible? No. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it time consuming? Yes. My wife is there. Darling, oh my goodness, this mom might be embarrassing. My dear darling Jeannie Steele, could you unmute yourself, please?
Nice try, imposter. Yes, good night to everyone.
Darling, when was the last time I left this house?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure you've been to something.
When was the last time I left this house?
I'm trying to remember. it has, oh gosh, it's been a while.
And the last time I left this house
was Joshua's birthday. Joshua's birthday, the 27th of November, the day we had the little party for Josh. I don't think he's left since then.
What do I do all the time, honey? Every morning, every night, every day. What do I do, darling? Tell them what I do.
Besides make me miserable?
Besides that, yes.
Study, read, do research, and play a bit with Josh and Ivory. That's about it at the moment.
What about the phone calls and the meetings?
Oh yeah, those two. Oh, those two. Oh my gosh. Yep. The phone calls and the meetings at all hours. Yep, those. How could I forget those?
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, my darling. Listen. Please listen. Please. Please listen. I don't even go outside. There's nobody outside I want to see. There's no pub. There's no club. There's nothing I want that is out there. I focus on what I'm doing. I sacrifice. If you want to accomplish something, you gotta sacrifice. You have to let your intentions be clear. Your Excellency, Dr. Yours, you want a team, find it. Don't sit. If you sit down and says, oh, I wish I had a good team, the team isn't going to show up. Find it. Build it. Make it. I want a management team, and I want a people in the class of Steele that are going to take this vision for 100 years. How did I get you guys? Find you. Pick you out. Bring you close to me. It costs me to be mentoring all of you for nothing. It costs me. I pay for all of this. But guess what? The rewards and the intention and what is going to come back as a result of this investment are worth it. That's what is keeping me going. People look and they say, oh, but you're not making any difference. No. I am making progress. You should write that in your diaries. If you're not making money, make sure you're making progress. Doreen, how many meetings do you have pertaining to your organization's success? You might not make what you want right now, but make something. What? Progress. Some of you that might be looking for a relationship and a partner, if you haven't found that relationship or that partner, why? It's because you're not making any progress. You're not working at it. Make one small step towards it. A lot of you want to be impactful, but you're not making any impact. Why not? Because you haven't found a little place that will receive you for nothing. So you can at least start the process of doing what? Making an impact. I want to impact the lives of nations. What am I doing? Making little steps. I'm making progress. The time is now 8:25, and I'm going to close on that. And I want you to challenge me. I want you to challenge me. Ask me the most difficult question about going ahead that you can imagine. If you want to ask me about my divorce, if you want to ask me about remarriage, if you want to ask me about business that ain't going nowhere, if you want to ask me about people that you trusted and they tear your heart out of your chest, if you want to ask me anything, I am your mentor. I'm not a Nigerian cultured person. I am your friend. And a lot of you have resources available to you. And the reason why you don't get successful is you don't ask questions, because I don't know how he's going to take it. I'm going to take it on the chain, or I'm going to take it in my ears and answer you. I'm not embarrassed about nothing on my journey. I'm going to die soon if the Lord brings me home. And what will I have to take to the grave? Nothing. Nothing goes in the grave. But I want to leave something in you that is going to cause you to be successful. I'm available as your mentor. Ask me. Who's going to ask me the first question? If you want to ask me, just wave your hand and I'll answer you. Nobody has anything to ask me or no comments?
Your Excellency, I'll start the floor, sir.
Go ahead, Your Excellency, Dr. Yours.
You talk about so much a topic tonight, but what I would like to talk about is, I've seen on your slide, you use the President, Joe Biden, as one example with where he reached and the time frame and his intention. And one of the things, if you look, let's use Joe Biden as an example in reaching the goal and to reaching the presidency, he had a track record. And his track record qualifies him to where he is today. And in the track record also, the time frame. Now, Joe Biden is 79. And a lot of us would probably give up and said, I'm too old now to be a president. I'm too old to go for the highest job in the land. And so our mindset, including myself, a lot of the goals and a lot of things that we can be our own failure in saying, for example, I would say I'm semi-retired, I'm too old to go for the presidency. That was not my remit. So before I even start to think about for the president role, I'm already telling myself I'm too old, so I'm not going to go for it. And in business, in different things that we want to do in life, sometimes, and I use the word sometimes, if we are not in the right, when I say connection, I was saying to you, so to achieve that connection, and your goals, you have to be in the right connection. I'll use another example. I have a friend who, he works on the shop floor in one of those big stores in Oxford Street in London. His connection by one person, he started to move amongst millionaires. And the millionaires, he got involved in some charity function and one person introduced him to the next and the next. Because he moves into the millionaire circle, the way he's going is at a speed. And I said, wow, because he has that circle. That's why I was saying to connection. Right now, he's traveled abroad on holiday, and 20 millionaires. He's the only person who's not a millionaire. 20 millionaires has flew out for his birthday, all expensive paid for. So that's why I was trying to say connection has a lot to do with us, the goals and stuff. And you probably, I say, how do you get that connection? How do you get that thing? Not that you don't have your own goal, that you don't have your own vision, but sometimes if you don't have that right connection, there's lots of hindrance about it. And all what you're saying, sir, I'm not disputing. I guarantee you 100% what you say, you're spot on. If you don't try, if you don't ask, if you don't continue fight, you don't care how little it is. My home that I live in, I want a second bathroom, a second toilet. It's only got one bathroom. And I don't even know where to start from, who to go. But I start asking questions. I saw my neighbor and I said, how do I get an extension, put a second bathroom in my house? He said, do this, do that, do that. If I didn't ask, I wouldn't know. So a lot of things, hearing you, sir, we maybe be shy to asking. Some people are shy, some people are assertive. Everybody doesn't assertive as Dr. Michael said. Assertiveness has a lot to do with it. So I would just like to put out, sir, we can, unless we come from out our own little box or come from out a little zone, sometimes 20 years and you remain the same place. Because we just in our little box, or we only in our little circle, and we just sit down there looking around, and then the years went by. Joe Biden didn't look at that. He's 79, and he was determined. He's now the president. That's my take, sir.
You know, Your Excellency, one of the things that that you said is your friend had good connections, etc. Your Excellency, you know that I'm surrounded by multi-billionaires as friends.
Sure.
I have friends that are multi-billionaires, quite a few, multi-millionaires times over, quite a few. But I'll be very honest with you. There is no use for them in some circle, in some senses of what I'm trying to accomplish. There's no use for them. And let me explain what I'm trying to say. What is your intention in having multi-millionaires as friends? What's your intention? I'll tell you one thing. I have multi-billionaires that are friends. They don't do you favors. They don't give you money. They don't pay your bills. They don't say, hey, how can I help you? They don't operate like that in those circles. It doesn't work like that. Everybody in those circles can pay their own bills, can pay their own way. So anytime you are in those circles, sometimes you're just a hang around, unless you have a really good, strong friend and a good relationship. So for me personally, I have no interest in being in their circle, because their circle is not something that I'm freaked out about. I have multi-billionaire friends that we go on fishing trips. And that's it. Why do I hang out with them? Because we went on a fishing trip. We went to the Bimini Islands for a fishing trip. We flew on a private flight. That's it. I have friends that they open opportunities. But here is the important thing. What is your intention in getting those friends? Because your intention is going to determine how you get those friends. And when you get those friends, what keeps the relationship going? You know, we have a few Nigerian multimillionaire friends that thought they were going to have me wrapped around their finger, but they totally got fussed. They totally missed it. Come on, Your Excellency, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not intimidated. So what I'm trying to say is, what are your intentions in getting those connections? His Excellency, Dr. Hilary Emont and Leaders Without Borders is one of our connections. But I have many organizations that send me emails continually. Oh, we want to be a part of the class of Steele. No, I'm not interested. No, you're not going to be a part of the class of Steele. Oh, but Dr. Steele, why? Because of their intentions. So any association you make, you have to know why are you making those intentions, those connections? What are your own intention for our millionaire friends and billionaire friends? Is it to say that your social circle have them in? That's easy. His Majesty, Your Majesty, could you unmute yourself, please? His Majesty and myself, we have friends that are in high circles, but a lot of them, please don't take this the wrong way, they're useless in light of our intentions for our lives. Your Majesty, am I speaking okay when I say that to some degree, Your Majesty?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So
You are speaking okay. Yes, Excellency.
when we have what do we do when we have all of these wealthy friends, but we don't have the right intentions? What happens, Your Majesty?
That's we miss it. We miss it all if we don't have the right intention. I know you scolded me last week because you told me that this is not intention because
Your
of how I was
Majesty.
following them. You scolded me. I have to be frank. And then I redressed my step, and then I started following the intention.
Your Majesty,
Because
Your Majesty,
actually,
Your
yes,
Majesty, I
actually,
was
I
not being.
evaluated what you told me. Yeah, it was right. I was looking for an immediate sales and making money. You said no, that's not intention. The intention is to get the factory there, is to produce it. So you're right. You are being clear this night. You're right.
Your Majesty, I didn't mean for you to get all personal.
Sorry, but it's the truth. Yeah, we are learning, and well, it's okay.
Hey, no, but the truth is, come on, let us be. Thank you so very much, Your Majesty. I love you, dear. I appreciate you, Your Majesty. I'm honored. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, we have to look at intention. When you start something, have an intention and let it guide you. Don't just have people on your team for the sake of having people. I have a LinkedIn, and I'm a guru when it comes to social media marketing. I am. So why does the class of Steele not have blah, blah, blah? Because I have intentions. I'm not interested in just having a bunch of people all just come on to the class of Steele like that and say we have 100,000 followers. No. It doesn't work like that. We have intentions. We have a purpose, and we want to accomplish something. So our targeting and our marketing is based on our intentions. I want to, Daniel, you're an elder. Reverend Daniel, do you want to share a thought, Reverend Daniel?
Yeah, thank you very much, Your Excellency. And I want to greet every excellency in the house. There is no doubt you have actually opened our eyes in trying to know what intentions are, especially when you were emphasizing that there is nothing impossible, for us to achieve, especially when we have the right tools and the right relationship and so on. Our intentions are very, very important, but they are nothing if we don't get ourselves committed to them. And I just want to thank you for bringing up all of these things. They are very helpful. And my wife was here and she said something. And when you said there is nothing that is impossible to achieve, that nothing can hinder us from achieving our intentions. My wife said, "Darling, did you hear that?" and I said, "Yes." And she said, "I am easily discouraged when things don't move my own way or things don't move according to my intentions." And I told her, well, maybe you are not reading me fine. I am not easily discouraged. But one thing I know is that you have actually opened my eyes to certain things. You said that if you are doing something and that thing is not working very well, that you should pause and ask yourself, do you have good intention? Are the intentions good? And if they are not good, then one has to change and one has to, try to reduce his intention. And that is a very big eye opener to me. And so whatever I am doing right now with the intention, I know for sure that I have. And if those intentions are not actually moving, I have to pause, to ask myself some questions. This is very, very important. And obviously, your last your last comments when you stopped what do we call it now, the show, I mean when you stopped the teaching and then started giving us a certain time, asking us questions, what actually stops us from reaching our potential or something like that. Mm-hmm. And yes, many of us in Nigeria would mention that we don't have enabling environment. But with what you said right now, all those things we think can hinder our progress, our intentions, we might overcome them. And we just thank you for giving us that piece of lesson. And I hope that the Lord will help us, to carry out these things. That notwithstanding, let's continue praying for Nigeria, because many Nigerians look up to the government. And when they look up to the government, and when the government is not performing, it affects everything Nigerians do. And me, I want to believe that that is also an aberration. That is not good. We just have to do everything hoping that we will beat all these obstacles and reach our potential. So I seriously believe that we can do that. Thank you very much. And I thank you, thank the First Lady for the preparation of this. And we know that everything is going to help us. In fact, this new year actually started with a very wonderful footing. And we thank God for the lessons we have so far learned. I also want to greet everybody in the house. Thank you very much. Your Majesty, thank you. Everybody in the house, I don't just have to mention you one after the other. My heart goes to you, and thank you very much for being there. Let us make the class of Steele what it is, because what I get from the class of Steele personally helps me a lot. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Dr. Michael Steele, and every other person there. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And please give our love to the First Lady as well. Greet her for me for being there in the background. We appreciate her as well. And you for your time and sacrifice of data to go through the class of Steele sessions. Here's something to take a note. All of the things that are going to be hindrances, those things that you see as challenges, lack of electricity, lack of this, lack of that, I want you to draw a big circle and then Write those things in the center of that circle and then put yourself as a little dot in that circle. And this is what that dot represents, yes? That dot represents you and the environment that is around you. Simple. Some people have an environment that is around them that might have red tape and legislation that hinders them. For me, in the UK, there's this thing called a credit rating, and I have not lived in the UK for all of my life. I was living in Barbados, and I come here, and since I've been here, I lived at maybe about 3 or 4 different addresses, and your credit rating is not good. And as a result of that, you are hindered from engaging things that would make your life easy. Does that mean that I'm a failure? Does that mean that I will not get what I'm trying to accomplish? No, I have to find an enabling environment conducive to me acquiring what I want to acquire. I just have to use creative ways to mitigate those circumstances. Are you with me? If you are in any environment, you're going to have conflicts and challenges and difficulties. It's natural. Don't be looking at them as excuses. It's natural. His Majesty and myself, we were just in Italy together. And while we were there, they told us that on Friday, this is going to happen. And I said to His Majesty, Your Majesty, forget visiting the Pope. Forget going to the Vatican. Let's abandon this ship immediately and return to the UK. Why? Because my mind went back to the first time that Italy went on lockdown. Persons were trapped in Europe for months. And I don't want to be trapped in Europe for no months. So what do you decide? Let's curtail this decision and leave Italy immediately. But guess what? Your Majesty, we fulfilled and we accomplished what we went for. Is it not correct?
Yeah. By His grace, we did. We fulfilled it. Being that we are supposed to spend 7 days, we spent 2 days or 3 days.
3 days.
Yes. 3 days, yeah.
And we did everything that we had to do in those 3 days. And the other 4 days, we decided, you know what? We can reschedule those 4 days for another trip.
Sure.
So you always must be in a position where you look at your intentions and you are able to redefine, realign, change, but always be mindful of time. Give time its perfect place. Don't rule out time. You do not own time. You do not have time in your hand. So always, if you call yourself a child of God or an ambitious person, and you do not factor in the indefinite understanding or nature of timing, then you will always be disappointed. Chukwuemeka, you're a young man. You're a young man. You have time on your hand. Oh, but I might decide. Chukwuemeka, don't ever live your life thinking that this is going to happen or that's going to happen. Just do what you can do today. Each small baby step in the direction of what you want to accomplish is a mark of excellence on your part. Adeola, I want you to share your thought, Adeola. Your Excellency, Adeola Olukoya, lend your voice to the discussion, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening.
Good evening to everyone in the house. It's a pleasure, it's a privilege attending the meeting today. And honestly, thank you very much, for sharing this with us. As you were asking everybody to mention, what they think have been a kind of hindrance to, to their intention or to achieving their goals. I kept on wondering what could be mine. And actually, I listed about 3 things down. And when my husband spoke and you began to talk, I actually agree with you that those things are not hindrances. they are not things that can prevent us if we make up our mind, to achieve what we want to achieve, and understanding the timing. And, looking at it, I've realized that, because, I'm a school owner, I run a school, and I know that, for since we started, we've trusted God to have our own structure. And, to me, is a kind of thing, is one of the things that is really preventing me from achieving what I would love to achieve in education system, in my country. But, when my husband spoke, when you spoke, I just realized, no, God's timing is actually very important. And, I have to walk along that way as well to understand that, okay, from the time, we started up to today, some things have been done in order for us to arrive at the goal, in achieving what we're achieving. And honestly, thank God for today and for what we've discussed, and for every other people's contribution. I've gained from it, and I know that nothing is impossible, as long as I'm alive and the grace of God is upon me to achieve it. It's just for me to have understanding of what to do, to understand the timing, and then, to move ahead, and, I will achieve what I need to achieve. Thank you very much, and God bless everyone. Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Architect Olukoya, could you unmute yourself? I need it. I need you for a minute. Architect Olukoya, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Architect Olukoya, are you with us? Okay, he's not able to unmute. Your Excellency, Bishop Dr. Comfort Adu, lend your voice to the discussion, please. Unmute yourself. Yeah, go on.
Okay, thank you. You hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you fine, ma. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Your Excellency Bishop Dr. Michael Steele.
Good evening.
Your Royal Highness, Your Majesty, the First Lady, and all the excellencies in the house. It's a pleasure being at the class of Steele sessions. Time that we get our tutorials for our mentor. It is well. I also agree with many of the speakers that actually there's nothing impossible for us to attain whatever we want to, or achieve whatever we want to, because everything is there for us. Only that we look at the challenges as being rocks, or being mountains, or being obstacles that we, in quote, think that it cannot be brought down. But right as you put it, Your Excellency, that nothing can stop us. I embrace the thought that our intentions, our answers to our challenges. So far as you have intention of doing something, and you know that is the will of God, time is nothing. All that you have to do is to keep on, like I'll put it in this way, it's like continue to knock on the project, knock on it, meaning doing whatever you are supposed to do, trusting that surely you will hit the mark. And I'm very grateful for your challenge to us this evening. I see that nothing can stop me from my dreams coming to pass, and I'm looking forward for them. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I'm blessed.
Thank you so very much for your submission. I want to say one thing to us, and please do not knock my relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ or as a Christian. But one of the most destructive things that hinders intentions being realized is this statement. Christians or believers that walk around and use this statement, if it is the will of God. And when things get difficult, a lot of individuals are quick to say it wasn't God's will. Because that's like, if it is the will of God, it will happen. But if it is not the will of God, it's not going to happen. Listen to me. Listen to me. I want you to hear me. Your Excellency Olukoya, I'll get to you. I see you're there. I want you to hear this, something that's very important, please. The Bible said, and let's use a Bible verse to qualify what I'm saying as a bishop and as a minister. The first thing is the Bible said is he who calls us to will and do of his good pleasure. He calls us to will and do. So if you have an intention is a willing or desire to do something. Now he calls us to will and do. He causes us to will and to do. Then the verse of scripture also says, commit your way to God and he will bring it to pass. Your way, not God's way, not God's way, your way. Your Majesty, if right now you desire to come and see me at my house, Your Majesty, you commit that way to God and that is your way and God will bring it to pass. Your Majesty, am I correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
You says, Your Excellency, Dr. Steele, can I come and see you? I would love to come. And I says, Your Majesty, you can come and see me. Where do I meet you? And I will meet you and we will meet up. But let's say you want to come and see me if it be the will of God. And then when you go outside, you see the rain starting to fall. And you decide the rain is falling, I'm going back in. And you call me, Your Excellency, I don't think it is God's will for me to meet with you, boy. I just went outside and the rain is falling.
Well, we should be mindful of this too. We should be mindful of it because at times we say things, and when those things start happening, we say the will of God. Yeah, yeah. Because I already told you, I'll be coming to see you if it's the will of God. So I said something, and maybe the thing is manifesting negatively, and then I'll say, "Oh, it's not the will of God."
What am I trying to say? We're men and women of the word. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Not some of them, all of them. If you're double-minded. So why is it that you decided you were going to do something? A lion shows up in front of the door. A tornado starts and you just gave your word and says you're going to do, and these things step in the way, and then immediately you say it's not the will of God. Please don't shortchange yourself because of your lack of ability to make a way or find a way based on the intentions you have. Stay focused and true to your intentions. Commit your ways to the Lord. He'll bring it to pass. And stay focused. Whatever it takes to make it happen, it will happen. Architect Olukoya, you're there? I see you on mute. Are you there?
Yeah, Your Excellency.
Architect Olukoya, I want to tell you a specific reason why I groomed you in the class of Steele. I want to tell you something I never told you. Anytime you're building something, you're gonna smile at this one, Architect Olukoya. You'll smile at this. Architect Olukoya, you're so close to me because you're an architect. You're a builder. But architect, my name is Michael Steele. You can't have a building without steel in it. And I love my name, but here's something that I want you to confirm for me, which is a fact. You know, there's some buildings that you're building a skyscraper of 100 stories. You know, a lot of times individuals don't realize that you put down the foundation, you pour the foundation, and then you leave the foundation for about 2 or 3 or even 4 years, and you don't do anything. Architect Olukoya, is that true? Olukoya, are you there with me?
Yes, it's true. For everything to set and for it to go through some
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm answering you, sir.
Yes.
You are correct, sir.
So
correct, sir.
So here's the thing. A lot of us have intentions and we put down a foundation, but we don't let it set. You put down a foundation, you put down a plan, but you don't let it set. You plant a seed, you don't even let it die. You want to dig it up and find out what's going on under here. You start a project, you don't let it even take life. Come on, somebody. Every single process has time allocated that is beyond your or my control. And that's why we get that verse of scripture. We want to talk scriptures. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. It's all about waiting. A lot of us don't like to wait. We want it now, immediately. We don't want to wait. Immediate gratification. We don't want our organization to be strong. We don't want our presence to be there. We want the gratification immediately. I want to thank you. The time is now 9:01, and I want to thank you for your submissions, your comments, and your contributions. And I want to ask, before we close this evening's session, if there are any final questions or comments before I close, and I will be closing shortly. Is there anybody else that have anything to say before I close the class this evening? Your Excellency Doreen Burunji, I see you turn on your camera. Do you have any comment or anything to say before we close?
No, Your Excellency, I'm good.
All right.
No, Your Excellency.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for being a part of this evening's presentation and also a part of the discussion. Thank you for your comments, your contributions, and your support in this discussion this evening. I want to appreciate you, and I want to leave you with this thought. Nothing is impossible. If you have anything in your mind that tells you something is impossible, label it. Label it as not an obstacle, not a hindrance. Label it as a stepping stone. Label it as just a part of the process that you have to overcome. Label it as just a dynamic that you have to be, that you're going to be faced with. Don't see it as obstacles and hindrances and troubles and problems. If you label them as that, then that's what they will be to you. And nobody likes problems. Nobody likes troubles. Nobody likes difficulties. I always look at things that are difficult to me and say it quite simply. If it causes me any grief, headache, or undue stress, I will remove it from myself. Why? Because I don't want to be dealing with those things. And equally, if it causes me headaches and stress, but it is what I need to do to get my intention across, come on, somebody, then I have to bear it. Then I have to deal with it. Anything that is a part of your intention that you have to accomplish, you work with it. So you need to learn the difference between an obstacle to your intention and a part of the process. Some things are obstacles, some things are part of the process. You need to know the difference. That's why there's this prayer that says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. What are obstacles? And what are processes that needs to be entertained? I'm Your Excellency Dr. Michael Steele. On the behalf of Her Excellency Jeannie Steele, the management of the class of Steele, thank you so very much for being a part of this evening's class. We love and appreciate you, and I hope that this class has added some value to you. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Good evening and God bless.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
You are most welcome. Chuka, make I know you're quiet. Bye, Adiola.
Thank you, Dr. Michael Steele.
Thank you,
guys-
Excellency.
You guys
Good
are
evening.
welcome.
And good night, everyone. God bless.
Good night,
night.
Lioness. You
Thank
look
you very
pretty
much.
tonight. You look
Bye.
Good
pretty
night, everyone.
tonight.
Thank you.
See
night.
you. Night.
Good night,
I
Bishop
missed
Comfort.
your call.
Oh yeah,
your call.
we'll talk. We'll
Good
talk.
night.
Good night.
Everybody.
Good night, Olukoya. Good night.
Margaret, good night. We
night.
see you having challenges
Good
coming
night.
and going, but have a wonderful
Margaret,
night,
good
Margaret.
night.
Good night, Bishop. I did not receive the call again.
Don't worry, I will call you.
Good night, Doctor.
No, myself. I mean myself, my call.
Don't worry, I will call you. I'll call you now.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night.